Your colors tonight.
What up? What up? What up? Hey, it's your resident online mortgage lender, Robert Lewis, NMLS license number 180100. And we back, baby. It's the home show,
We are back.
2022, first show of the year. Kels, how you living, man?
Man, I was trying to get my colors right before we hopped on, but I feel good, man.
You ain't said nothing but
I
the thing.
sometimes
I read it out for you real quick. Go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you know how when you come into the new year, Mikhail, the credit go every time the new year starts, everybody got New Year's resolutions.
Right,
Everybody got I want to try this, I'm gonna start this, I'm going to do this. We
right.
we left out of 2021 still running. We ain't got no new year. We just running. We running. We ain't
I ain't
stopped.
stopped.
I ain't stopped. So I ain't had nothing new except for
Yeah.
just turning up to the next level. Because now people trying to catch up to me, so I got to go to the next level. That's all it is.
There it is. Bring them with you, man. Bring them with you. As the tide rises, all boats rise, man. So we back, man. We made it back to another home show. We're gonna go strong. You mentioned in the green room, you was like, hey, Unc, and I was like, I've been doing that, so let's do it official, man. How many families you trying to help this year?
I'm going 150.
Ooh, 150.
150.
Okay. I'm gonna
150.
stick with 100. And when I say
Okay.
100, specifically 100 new families utilizing down payment assistance in the state of Texas. I'm gonna make it real laser specific focus. You feel me?
Yep. My goal is helping 150 families total with all the stuff we have going on. But I want to assist you, and I'm going to help. My goal is 3 families a month into a new home. That's my goal. I want to put three
Oh,
families a month into a new home off of building their credit. So 3 families a month, which are then until that's 36, right? So I'm gonna chop your 100 down to 36 off of
see,
your 100.
hey guys, as y'all are coming into the room, and we're gonna give you the guidelines here in a minute, but that's no competition but collaboration, right? Because that 36 is then gonna turn around, and then we're gonna make sure we got the basic financial protection in place so that we all could build, right? So
100%.
we doing some rules of 72 in here, man, in a minute, right? That thing gonna double in a year. So before we get too far off the mark, Kels, if you don't mind, man, if you don't mind, why don't you tell the folks that are coming in how is it that they can interact with the show? Because that's the only reason we're here, right?
100%, 100%. Well, everybody, welcome. Thank you for tapping in another year. It is the home show, and I want to say thank you because you didn't have to be here tonight, but you chose to be here, right? So, as you guys are coming in, if you aren't familiar with us already, we use StreamYard. So, give StreamYard the access to comment on our live. Make sure if you have a question, you're going to put a Q in front of that, letting us know it's a question. And if you have a statement, write an S in front of it, or if you want to drop your favorite emoji, drop the strength symbol, the gem, or just the fire emoji saying we're adding some type of value and engage with us. And caring and sharing, so like, share, and comment on the post and on the live. And welcome back to another amazing year. We got some hot stuff for you guys, and look forward to just growing with the family, with the culture.
There it is, man. There you have it. And I got this new toy of him hitting these switches, baby.
I see
Like
that.
I'm in a low rider. Y'all don't know nothing about that. So I'm on the west side, baby. But you know what? Excellent job, Kels. And we got to hit them with this. Hey guys, before I go, because we got to start the show off right. We got a question, and it's not Rakim. It's not as serious as cancer. But I'm trolling tonight, right? This is what I want to know. I want you guys to think about this question, right? Is student loan forgiveness a good idea? Okay. I want to know what you say. And now, here's the deal. I'm going to drop the link tonight. And if you feeling body about how you feel about your answer, we're going to let you come onto the stage and express yourself. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh,
That
let me
sound
go
good,
share this
Cal?
on Facebook. Let me go
That
share
sound
this
good
on
to you?
Facebook. Yeah, let me go share this on Facebook.
Yeah, share it out,
This,
man. Because you know what?
yeah.
I want to know, is it a good idea, right? So while you guys are getting ready, you know what? I forgot too, Kels. One other thing, guys. What's that thing you said, Kels? Boomerang that thing, right?
Yeah.
Go to your IG. Everybody get smart device. Go to your IG. Let's get a boomerang and share it out. Ah, I'm on with that man. Mama, there go that man. Boom.
Boom.
Let's share it with our stories. All right, it's out there. So I appreciate you guys. Get the interaction going. Is student loan forgiveness a good idea? And we're going to jump into that question right on the other side of this. Welcome to the Home Show, a community where its members build solid foundations in the area of holistic wellness by learning and implementing the knowledge gained from industry experts. Come on in, have a seat, relax. Welcome. Man, don't give me 3 weeks to prepare, bro. This sounds like this radio station over here. Y'all go ahead if you want to. Don't hate, participate, baby. Get in where you fit in. Cash, you like that, don't you?
I like it. I like
Welcome. Yeah. So anyway, guys, let me get into it. Again, thanks for stopping by. We into it, Kels. Let's see the room, man. Let's get them going. What say you, Kels? What say you? What is your opinion on the question at hand?
Man, it's tough to get onto this question, man. Is student loan forgiveness a good idea? Yes, it's a great idea. Simply because it will open the door for a lot of people. A lot of people suffer with their credit based off of student loans. A lot of people suffer financially off of student loans. Student loans is stopping some people from getting a home. It stops a lot of people for a lot of things. So I think forgiving it, especially where the economy is going in the direction it's going in, it will help a significant amount of us people to get where we need to go.
I don't think so. I'm gonna play the hater tonight, right? And I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because you mentioned one of the reasons that people state why or how student loan forgiveness is going to benefit by stimulating the economy, right? Actually, you mentioned two: stimulating the economy and helping those folks that want to buy homes, right?
Yep.
Now, I say no. This is why I say no. And again, guys, if you don't agree with me, say it with your chest. And this is not a negative type thing. We're not trolling, but I really want to understand, because as we conversate and talk about this, I think what we could finally start doing is coming up with some solutions to maybe either get to your congressman or what have you to justify forgiving the monies or not. Now, let me play the villain on this. This is why it's not a good idea. March 2020, the CARES Act was put into position, right, Kels?
Yep.
Now, the CARES Act stated, and it's been extended multiple times just recently. As a matter of fact, you sent that to me, right?
Yep.
CARES Act extended. Let me do this while I'm getting this ready. But the CARES Act was just recently extended to what? March 2022.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
So this is why forgiveness is not a good thing, because how many people that have benefited from a forgiveness plan over the last almost 2 years now, right, have taken those monies that they would have been paying and put it in a position to better themselves? That's my argument to that, right? Number two, most people that are benefiting from the forgiveness that has gone on for 2 years, because would you agree that it's been a forgiveness?
Oh yeah, no question.
No interest accruing and no payments having to be made. So here's my second point. Most people, and I know this, you know this, because you get to look at credit reports. Most people's student loans were in what?
Default.
The what?
Default.
DeSoto. Default. What does default mean?
Simply means that you are not paying them. They're in the negative. You either late payments or then, yeah.
So again, so there's been a forgiveness going on. So what I think is this: there's a lack of accountability floating around in the air. Back to your side of the fence, right? Why is everybody so excited about business funding? Tell the truth, Kels. Tell the truth.
Oh, because they feel like they can there's a number of different ways. They either think they can go buy real estate with it, or either they'll put down payment for real estate. I'm gonna say buy. They want to live off the money. I had somebody reach out to me the other day and said, "Hey, if I got a business loan, how quick do I have to pay it back? Or business funding, because how quick do I have to pay it back? Because I want to use it to pay some bills, and like they want to live off of this. Like, man, the pandemic app, I want to have money to like live off of, and I'm like, man, you got to pay that. I don't recommend it. I didn't proceed to help because I feel like, man, that's not the way you're supposed to use that business funding. You're supposed to grow your business, not live off the money.
So the business funding, folks feel like that's a way now to skirt where it's not going to be affected or show up on my personal information. And if I decide for it to go into default, not DeSoto, then it's not going to negatively affect me. So you say yes. And you know what? I don't have a problem with yes, but we have to tie it to the end investor, which is all of us, because if we're talking about federally insured loans, that's you. And if you're working, that's us, right?
Yeah, that's me and you. Yeah.
Right. So if all of this money is forgiven, this is what I want to know from you, since you're on that side, because that makes sense. Hey, do we tell folks you got to buy a house if we forgive you this money? How do we administer the forgiveness to make sure it benefits we the people?
Whew. To be honest, it don't benefit us.
No, I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah.
that's what we're trying to figure out tonight, right? Because everybody, if you got student loans, right? Yeah, forgive them.
Yeah.
But somebody got to pay the bill. And what I'm saying is, if you're working as you, if they're federally insured, that's us.
Oh, we're gonna catch it on the back end. And I think that we don't realize that, right? But I think the argument that a lot of people want to argue is the biggest part of it is some of us was taken advantage of as at a young age, right? I think that's where the argument comes in at.
I knew that was gonna come up too. Go ahead. I'm ready for you tonight.
So sometimes they quick to give us a lot of money. If you give an 18-year-old $2,000 or $3,000 extra, come back. See, we don't, if you didn't have guidance or somebody saying, hey, take out exactly what you need for these classes, then you'll be okay. But a lot of times nobody was there to tell you that. And a lot of times, especially our community, I'm gonna go ahead and say this, they kind of throw you to the wolves once you get to college. Like, oh, okay, now you grown, like do your thing. Like you need to go to the financial student aid and get the loans. But the way the community is on the campus is like, oh yeah, I got a refund check of so and so. So you really go to the financial aid office to see how big of a refund check you can get back. It was never once stated,
right,
X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? So
no, and I believe that's real. And this is what I'm saying to that, man. There's always three sets of, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? There's a far extremes and then there's a middle. So this is what I see a lot. And I'm going to bring it back to our world, credit, right? How many times do you see people that come to you and says they play the damsel in distress? I didn't know.
Oh,
I was young.
That's everybody.
I was 17. I didn't know when them people said, here's 100, you got to pay me back 10. I didn't understand. How often do you hear that?
All the time.
Well, then if you hear that all the time, in what cases is it really the case that someone was taken advantage of?
Not a lot, but who's this? Ooh, yeah, okay. so not a lot, right? But at the same time, there is some out there, right? So we can play back and forth. But what I will say to that is, I think majority of the people, they might have wasn't taken advantage of. They just was, because we all was young at the same time. We all got the same mindset. Nobody's grown. Everybody try to act grown, right?
Right.
But the ones that know they got the loans and they know, like, so kind of to go back on a little bit, and this might be going a little bit off, but a lot of times we're misled when we go and find that career path. Because if you find somebody that's an engineer and they say, oh, I make great money, but they don't tell you how much loans they had to pay back or how much loans they had to take out to go be an engineer, right? They just say, I made great money. So you try to chase that same path and you're misled thinking that when you get out, you can be making, because see, when we're young, $100,000 looks like a lot of money. Until you make 100,000, you're like, oh, that's not really no money. You know what I mean? So
right,
it's a lot that we can go back and forth on. But I feel like for myself, a lot of times you're misled thinking that the industry you're getting into is going to pay back that student loan, number one. And number two, by you being young, you're saying like, hey, look, uh, this refund check look real good. I'm gonna go that route. Now, people that come to me with the credit problems that's in default, a lot of times, majority of the people that have the credit issues are the ones that didn't finish the schooling.
And that's real. That's a real point. I'm glad you went there. Again, guys, engage. This is a safe place, right? We're just having a conversation. I'm trying to kerfuffle your feathers, especially if you're in my cohort and you have children that could be going to college. Because this is where I'm gonna go with that, Kels. I could get that argument from 1965 to maybe 1990. Okay, because then you got from 90 all the way up to 20, just depending on how soon you was making babies, right? You start looking at, okay, you get up to my cohort. Now we got kids going to school. Here's my question with that. When do we stop making the excuse, right? My son is not too much younger than you, right?
Yeah.
Now, I went through the nobody told me. I didn't know. I was young. They gave me a bunch of money, right? But now, do we have the same kids coming from the people that went through that storm and they sending their kids to school doing the same thing? What's up with that?
It's a mindset.
Whose
It's a
fault is that?
it's our fault. Or it's our parents' fault and our fault,
Right, because we got information for days, right?
Correct.
Now, these are the same people that are lamenting right now that they don't, hey, I want a debt jubilee, right? So here's what I'm saying with that. If you are 35 plus and you have not paid your student loans back, right? Then your kids can't go to school on student loans. Because everything that you're saying that was done to you unjustly, I didn't know. Well, why are your kids going to school getting the same loans that you didn't know about? That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, that we need an older person jumping on that one. Nah,
I'm just saying
nah,
that should be something set up.
100%,
If we forgive you
100%.
of your student loans, none of your kids or nobody down your line could go to school on student loan debt no more.
That'll put a lot of people out.
What y'all think about that? I'm giving solutions.
I
What you think
think
about
that's
that?
a good solution, but then it goes back to see, people look at certain things the wrong way. They look at paying back a student loan like I don't know why we have the mindset of, oh, we ain't got to pay that back, or I ain't gonna pay that back right now. But then you want everything else in the world. But you don't realize if you just pay that back or even start paying on it, it'll open up doors for a lot of other stuff in the world for you: credit, housing, cars. Because the way we're raised now is, I think our generation is changing it. We getting back to being like business owners, entrepreneurs.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know. You giving yourself a little too much credit, bro.
I mean, look, I'm not saying
you might be doing that, but a lot of your partners is out here stealing too. Let's keep it 100.
We're not all built for it, right? We're not all made to be it. But I think we're a little bit less afraid to take that chance than some of our parents' age groups.
Take what chance? Of going to school?
No, take the chance of not going to school and going to get like a business or
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Now, I'm not saying we're all built and we're all going to be successful.
Right. But I agree with that 100%.
We'll take the chance. And that's where we got to stop saying, because like when you're raised, it's go to school, get a degree, and you're going to get paid good money. That's what it's always been.
That's the propaganda. And to my point, let me stop you right there, man. Let's engage a little bit.
Okay,
got a comment. It says we need to be more alert of what we want our lives to look like. If it requires schooling, that path requires a certain conversation and planning. If it doesn't, there's no reason to take on that type of commitment. This is a silent killer becoming very loud. I agree with you. That's the Minister of Information, aka Mr. Goggins. You know what? Let me lead it up because he hit a couple of things, right? Let's hit on it, right? This is what I like of what he says. It requires conversation and planning. Where is that at?
Now, see, this where the issue comes in at, because a lot of times parents are letting the schools determine what their kids are going to do. Because in
Oh, you
school, you're
about to get some
told,
problems.
huh?
You about to start some problems. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm
Because
listening.
in school, you're taught to go to college. You're not even talking about business. When like, and it's funny because they make the people that actually want to go be entrepreneurs, they make you feel dumb because they put you in the woodworking classes. You get put into the classes that people think like is the low end classes, but those guys that go be welders that work 1099, they're their own boss technically, right? Those guys that go do HVAC, that the class that nobody wanted to take or you took it as extra credit, those guys go be entrepreneurs. They'll go be business owners for construction companies, right?
Right.
But in school, you're even told to go XYZ because your parents, most of the parents are working 2 and 3 jobs, and they don't have time to sit down and say, "What is your game plan?" They send you to school. You go to a career day at a college. Some of them don't even go to a career day. Some of it's just like you let the teachers and the schools, the education system is going to tell you to go to school. There's not many teachers that's going to say, "Hey, let's go be entrepreneur. Go take a chance on yourself and go for the business. Go."
I love what you said. Let's go to the next comment.
Okay.
While we're teeing this one up, somebody that's watching, Google who runs the school system, who benefits from the school system as we go to this next question. Austin White, good to see you, Austin. The conversation about school and debt and planning should happen before you enroll and the loan debt starts compiling, not after the fact. Austin always keeping it 100. You keeping it a buck.
I like
Now
it. I like it.
that seems like common sense to us, right?
Yep.
But why isn't that the case? And I think that's what you were hitting on. I'm gonna let you go back in because you basically said, I'm gonna paraphrase what I heard you said. Parents, the schools can't raise your children. Is that what you just said?
Correct. They're
Okay.
looking at the wrong. They're looking at the wrong village to raise a kid. It says things a village to raise a kid. They're looking at somebody else's village to raise their kid instead of their village raising their kid. You know what I mean?
Right. So I'm bringing it all the way back. So again, thanks for commenting, Austin. Y'all keep them coming. Great comments, right? Conversation planning. This is starting to sound more and more like home at the house. Now, let me get on. Let me play devil's advocate because I see some 17 and 18-year-old, they out here big Draco until you get in front of the judge. And then everybody wants a character witness, and that's little Draco. And Lil Draco was right, but Lil Draco out here terrorizing people. So when young folks that might be watching this, when do you hold yourself accountable, Kels? Because you can't always play that card. I didn't know I was young, but you ain't listening.
100%. That starts early, but it starts in the brain. Like us parents got to hold our kids accountable. Cause like nowadays, if a kid get in trouble at school, the teacher can't correct them. The teacher can't, do nothing. So nobody hold nobody accountable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody can't tell nobody nothing nowadays.
And
Don't
so
tell my kid this,
And I know we're talking 10,000 foot view, but again, I've seen this past month, just did alone, 70-year-old person. Guess what they had? Student loans. All the way down to 17-year-olds. So it's everybody, right? So here's the deal. If this situation is a situation like the two commenters said, hey, we need to be having this conversation, right? And it's not an easy conversation, right? I had the conversation with the young CEO, 5th in her class, right? I'm not signing nothing. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Michael.
Yeah.
Rip tape. And see, you're laughing, but I'm serious.
I know.
Now, there was a lot of folks that got a lot of, like you said, looking down your neck. What do you mean you're going to school over there? Because over there is paying for her to go to school. And I know, and you know too, I'm talking about the ones that want the student loan forgiveness.
Yeah.
That as soon as you get out of school and you guys have the same degree, they pay the same money. You don't get more money because you went to Bernuk State. Yes or no?
Correct. But I think that's once again how the mind, right? Like they tell us you want to go to the flagship, you got to go to, in Louisiana it was LSU. You got to go to the state university, right? But and it's funny that you say that because I remember my buddy Jamie Connolly, he went to BRCC, a community college.
Mhm.
And all of us that was going to universities was making fun of him because he was going to a community college.
Laughing at him. What were some of the jokes? What you going to
Oh, you going to the
Brunuk
little
State?
remedial school. You going to the little
Right. Right. Go
hey,
ahead and tell the truth.
guess what? He came out first and got it. I think he got engineer or whatever he is. He started working as an upper level in the plants. He started out making 100 plus a year, while most of us wasn't making that when we got out of college. Out of the college. And I was like, now I think about it. Now I'm a little older. I'm like, man, he went and took care of all his core classes at a smaller college, paid for them out of pocket,
Yeah.
right? And then he never had to take student loans out. Most of us go to these big colleges and don't talk about out of state taxes, out of state fees. But go ahead.
This is another great comment, right? There's so much information available online today that it's almost unreasonable for younger folks to hold themselves accountable at a certain. So there's so much information that it's almost unreasonable for younger folks to hold themselves accountable at a certain point. I don't know if I'm understanding that correctly. Do you understand that? Is he saying they
But
can't?
I'm guessing he's saying like there's no reason why young folks can't hold themselves accountable at any point
Gotcha.
now. But I have to disagree with it, Austin, because there is information. But I will say this: that generation is on TikTok. They're not looking up information, and unless it come across on TikTok, they ain't looking up. I got an 11-year-old, and I know for a fact I gotta literally put phone time on her phone because when you go back and now your iPhones tell you now what you look at the most. You can look at the screen time, and it's straight TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, right? But young people, I hate to say it, unless the parents hold them accountable, like you hold Michaela accountable, right? You hold my parents held me accountable for stuff that I did. So yeah, I'm gonna take it upon myself. I remember my mama telling me literally when I was in high school, she says, nobody is gonna be there to wake you up to go to school. Like nobody's gonna be there to hold you accountable if you miss class. Like, and that's what kind of got me. I think I must close enough to that generation to take offense.
Yeah,
Now,
he younger than you, old man.
hey, look. Now, now,
don't
Austin,
don't be offended, man. Don't be offended. It's all
don't be
love.
offended. But see,
Yeah.
Austin, I think that you are right. Like there is so much information, but are we really going to look at the information? Like I got people now, like not to be funny, you can fix your credit with an amount of information that's on the internet
For free.
for free. People are
For real,
lazy,
for real.
Austin.
Right.
People lazy, Austin. Like, let's be real. People lazy.
But with that point, man, I think what we're saying and what you're saying is it's that team concept that we always talk about, right?
Bring it back to
I've done a lot of things for my kids where I'm the bad guy. They didn't like me at the time. But as time goes on and you become a little older and mature, it's specifically about the topic tonight, right? Where we're talking about student loan forgiveness. She wasn't happy with me a year ago, bruh, because we won't talk about the pride that comes with I'm going to LSU, right? But LSU ain't paying for you to go there. So if we're looking at this as a business decision, which most of the people that follow us, what are they looking for? Business funding, right?
Yep.
Do you have a product or a service that you're selling before you get this funding? No, you don't.
No.
Right?
And
Just
most
like
people that want the business funding, not even open for a year. But go ahead.
Right. No. I'm just saying, just like we're talking about these student loans, the conversation that you got to have. It says, I think I'm almost close enough to that generation to take offense. And then Austin also says, it's like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I agree. What you think about that, Cal?
I agree 100%. That's what majority of everything but Austin, that's what separates like Rob. That separates a Rob from a regular old lender. Like not being funny, like not trying to like say Rob is the but he an OG. He been in the game so long. He been in the game so long, right? There's always new information, but Rob goes and finds the new information so he stays up to date. A lot of lenders now, they just want to play ball and say, I got an MLO, right? But they're not staying up to date. They're not going to research the information. They're not going to say, how can I do my best to go get XYZ? They stay within the guidelines. They just, you not. There's so many times before I met Rob that loan officers been like, hey, you're not approved, out the door, right? It's the same thing. You got to take the initiative and go say, what's the newest qualification, what's the newest update, what's the newest stuff out there. Everything's out there. Everything's on the internet.
And with that example, you have to be a person to tap into somebody from your community, man. One of your OGs. You can't have commission breath in that, right? Student loans. We're talking student loans to bring it back there. Look, you can't afford to go to this school. See, that's a disrespect, right? But it's true, right? And we're blessed. My baby could go wherever. That's not the point. Is it a good investment? Because that's what we're talking about, right? You talk. I see it all the time on your feed now, man. There's an opportunity. You talked about the dude that went to the community college. Hear what you said. He was the first one out of your group in the workforce.
Correct.
He got to jump on you.
Correct.
And then if I could get in the workforce and not have any debt, he got to leap on you. And while you skiing and return, whatever you doing, right? That there's a bill associated with that. You see? And so now that's what we're here doing today is signing the trumpet. I care, but I don't care. I'd rather tell you the truth. And you could call me whatever you want to call me, but the truth is being put out here. Here's the deal. You got to pay the money back.
Correct.
If you buy a house, you got to pay the money back.
Correct.
If you go to school, you got to pay the money back. If you get business funding that's not in your name and it doesn't show up on your credit report, you got to pay the money back. And but this is why you got to pay the money back. Go ahead.
You know what I'm seeing lately, though? A lot of these people that went and got business loans last year that's not paying them back, they come back on your credit and they come back hard.
We know that.
They come back hard.
We know that.
Ain't no credit repair. You're not getting it off by credit repair, my brother.
But see, what we're trying to do is change the culture. That's why we come on, right? Because we're not on here trapping, right? If I want to, man, I could do all kinds of loans. But I'm trying to help you build wealth for real. And that's a mindset, right? It's a mindset to where we're trying to teach you guys how to understand what a fugazi is and what the real is. You see what I'm saying? So back to the student loan thing. Hey, I don't want you to be in debt. The Bible says the borrower is servant to the lender. Now, we got some solutions for you to get out of debt, don't we, Kels?
We got a lot of solutions. We got some.
Don't you have a solution over there?
Yes.
What is it called?
It's called a financial agent. Come work with us. Become a licensed agent in the financial industry. Most people don't even know it. The number one industry to make the most millionaires is the financial industry, which includes insurance brokers, which you can become an insurance broker with us and go out there and make an additional stream of income. I'm not saying you got to make it a career, additional stream of income. Go ahead.
How many years does it take to become a licensed insurance agent?
0.001 year, because it only takes about a couple hours.
How much money does it take to become a licensed insurance agent?
Less than $300.
And being realistic, somebody that has a job and it could put 20 hours in a week, that's coachable and not lazy and not a thief, right? It's an opportunity. How much could they make conservatively?
I think I'm for a minute. I'm there.
Yeah, you froze on me, baby.
Okay,
but
yeah, you said so you can make
20
about
hours a week conservatively. How much money could they make?
About $3,000 a month extra passive income.
$3,000 a month. How much is that a year?
That's 36.
36 extra $1,000 a year.
See,
that's called an opportunity.
Yeah, that's simple salary. Right? But now I don't want it to be your salary. I always say additional income. The reason being, you'll never be able to get ahead if you don't take your job and then go and then see people want to jump to the things that take overhead. Like my buddy, he want to get into trucking, and I think we had talked about the trucking, but the overhead inside of trucking, right? The overhead. Because if you're going to put a truck on the road, you got gas, you got maintenance, you got insurance, bonds, you got so much. There's a lot of things out there you don't really need overhead, but in the insurance industry right here, you don't need no overhead. You just need a little bit of time, patience, and a couple of trainings, and you're good to go. Really, they give the test away.
Yeah, and like you said, man, like the trucking thing, right? You and I both looked into it.
Correct. 100%.
Right? We did our diligence. Yeah. Right? Everybody on the internet talking about they making money with trucks. That don't mean I'm gonna make no money with no trucks. I gotta see what time it is,
Yeah.
right? And
Nah.
guess what else we did, Kels? I know you did, I did, but I spent money to to come up to the determination that this ain't for me.
Oh, correct. I sent you one of my courses that I looked into, and I
And I don't know what big money is because I don't want to, be out, but $500 is big money to some people, right?
right.
So here's the deal. Back to the student loan thing. Due diligence,
Yep.
right? All your partners is going to school. Is that for you?
Correct. You know the funny thing about it, okay, is if you go to that small college, most time your parents will probably get you a car, and all you need to do is drive over to the campus. Or
In our community, man, this is real. You said this on a post or something, but the rush to leave at 18 is crazy.
yeah, yeah.
And guess where if you can humble yourself, right, and live at home and have that support, who is that benefit?
Yourself.
That benefits you.
And your stomach, because you know mom's cooking, because you're not getting that type of meal on campus.
See, we ain't telling you what to do. I'm just throwing some ideas out there, right?
Correct.
And I don't throw no idea out that I ain't did. Kels will tell you that.
100%.
100%. Facts. I'm not capping on here. I don't talk about nothing that I don't do. Right? So I'm just saying, we got to quit using our 17, right? You was hard-headed in 17. So now your behind got to pay for them student loans.
Yeah.
Right? Or you could come up and say, you know what? There's opportunities out here. Heard it today, Kels. Watch this. With all this stuff that's going on, right? There's a doctor, sees a problem, put some nurses on the street, and they doing house calls. He probably making $50,000 a week. Now the rest of y'all crying, right? As I heard one of the OGs say, y'all here jingling and mingling, now your throat's tingling, right? Your throat's tingling, right? But see, some people see chaos, other people see opportunity. That's the point right there. If you can humble yourself, say that, Ms. Reed. See, they don't. We just trying to get to it. If we can humble ourselves, right, you might be able to stay around the house, okay, and it'll be a what? Blessing to you.
Oh, you know the whippersnappers when they say you start smelling yourself.
Start smelling yourself.
Start smelling yourself.
What you know? What one of the largest expenses to the college experience is, Kels?
What is that?
Room and board.
Yeah, it is.
It's a real estate play.
100%.
Talking about Airbnb. College has been doing Airbnb for a minute. For years. You feel me?
And guess what?
What's that?
They make you clean it. They make you clean it up. They don't have no cleaning service.
Got you standing in the box.
Hey,
and you running to go legacy debt.
Funny? It's funny when my parents go to a campus and my mom was like, I used to stay right there on that campus. I'm like, that's the same campus. They've been running that for about 20, 30 years. You know they
did nothing. Ain't did nothing to it.
Nothing.
You feel me?
Same water system, same showers. Nothing.
And the kids gonna come out with the same debt. You feel me? So tonight, like I said, I want to play the bad cop because we got to stop saying, oh, that's a blessing that my kid went to school. Not if they came out with no debt. That ain't no blessing. That ain't no blessing. Because if it was a blessing, everybody wouldn't be looking for a jubilee. Yes or no?
Correct, 100%. Do you think that because we have that mindset about, it's not even 30 years ago, probably 50, 60 years ago.
10 years ago.
You know what I'm saying? Like the mindset of like the whole degree thing. Because like a lot of our families pride ourselves on just like, it's a piece of paper now. There's people out here with no degrees getting the same job as people with degrees.
Kels, I'm gonna say it like this because I know we have a diverse audience.
Correct.
And somebody accused me of being a racist, man. You know that's so far from the truth. It's crazy. You know that, right? But I guess I could come off wrong to some people. I don't think Austin White would say that, right? And
Correct.
you can't get no whiter than Austin White. You feel?
I
That's a brother from another mother right there, right?
like Austin.
So I'll let him chime in if you thought I was racist, but sometimes I could be misconstrued because here's the deal. What's wrong with loving yourself? See,
Facts.
and
Most
that's what
people
I'm
need to
trying to
love
teach.
themselves first.
Say again.
Most people need to love themselves before they love somebody else.
How can I love you if I don't love myself?
100%.
So that's something that's new that we're trying to get out. And you're right, because of anytime you hold something away from somebody and then say that they could get it, then I think there's a rush for that, right?
Yeah.
But now we're at the point with technology and all the information and just listening to the sound. Everybody is crying about the student loan debt. When are we gonna stop? Michael, my niece and nephew over there better not be in no student loan debt, bro. Better not. You feel me?
Man,
And I mean that respectfully. You feel me?
look, I told Cons if they even want to go to college at this point.
If they want to go to college, right? I'm gonna throw that up there. Far from it. He talking about that racist comment for
Oh
the
yeah.
troll that called me that. Far from it. One of the most respectful individuals I know. Likewise, vice versa, right? Game recognized game. Actually find it harder to believe someone accused you of being racist. It's all good. That just means that I said something they didn't like about humble yourself and pay your bills. That's all that was. They were just
Yeah.
mad about that,
Yeah.
right? Because here's the deal, Kels. Here's the deal, man. And ladies and gentlemen, I had student loan debt. I paid it back, right? Didn't like it, right? Wasn't fun. Matter of fact, I let it linger around until my wife was like, "Man, you didn't pay that off." Not my boo thing, not my shorty, not my side chick, my wife. That's another. I'm gonna throw that out there, right? Most millionaires, guess what they are? Married
Married.
to the same chick. I'm making a
Same
mad.
shit.
Y'all ain't coming back next week. I don't care. Yeah,
Same
y'all. I don't do this for the likes anyway. I like talking to my kid.
standards.
Standards,
Standards, man. They
right?
have standards, man.
Give
Most
giving the
successful
gift.
people have standards.
Have standards, right? There's common threads, blues clues, right? So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Pay my student loans back. Okay. So I'm not telling you something that I didn't do. Okay. How did I pay them back? Hard work and dedication, like Mayweather said. You feel me? You said it earlier, man. I ain't stopped. I'm on some of y'all nerves right now. This Negro on the TV again. Yes,
I
I
love
am.
it. Hey, it gives me because how I be on the book. I'm like, oh, he get me gassed up. Let's go.
Yeah.
I want you on. Look, you need to start doing 2 days, like camp. 2 days.
You know why? You know why? Because they got people out here crying about student loan debt, and we got the answer.
We got to answer.
Right? You got an opportunity to make an extra $3,000 a month if you ain't scared to work. I got an opportunity for the right people, right? Because 100,000, 300 is the old 100. Y'all see the gas bill and everything going. It's called inflation. That's all this free money you want. Then you can't go to your Doritos gonna cost $17.
Hey, it's funny? My neighbor, he stepped on side me. He said, "Man, how much was your water bill?" I said, "Yeah, it went up." Now you got to remember that being cunts, we budget, we got everything set up. So he got like 2 or 3 older kids. He said, "Man, my water bill was about water, light, trash, everything." He said, "Man, I'm almost at $600-700 a month." I said, "Man, look," I said,
what they made the elephants over there?
I don't know what they're doing. I said, "Man, you might have a gas leak, a water leak, but
the car wash.
He got to realize, but look, he got to have the sprinkler system. He got to have the all. I noticed how he is. He want to look to part like he got to have the yard of the week. I told Con, said, it's not your kids. It's you trying to keep up with everybody else in the neighborhood. You better, hey, look, I get out. All right, let me get back inside. I ain't
What's on? Who's on that? It ain't tricking if you got it. He must not got it. He better quit tricking. Question. It says, if I'm paying my student loan debt off and they later decide to cancel student loan debt, did I lose out on making those payments?
Austin, no.
So go ahead. I'll let you have it.
I would say, Austin, one thing we got, don't wait on them. Make them student loan debts and get out the way. Because you never know, they might give you back pay or something. They might look what you had, they might give you back pay. But don't get caught with your pants down.
Yeah, because you got people that have been in that mindset for the last 20 years, right? Yeah. Waiting to pay. So I'm always from the answer's no, I agree as well. And I'm always from the answer. This is your word. You borrowed the money, right? And only good things come from it if you keep and honor your word. And then if they forgive it, that was a windfall that you wasn't expecting to get anyway. You feel me?
And
And so,
also,
go ahead.
they only gonna if they forgive student loan debt. Me and my mom had a conversation about it. It's going to be a select few, and the select few are going to be people that really probably got taken advantage of. Like they're going to find some type of way that like they're going to make it some like been out of school for 15 to 20 years, was going to this college that no longer has this, and they had this Sally Mae. They're going to find a way to make sure that everybody don't get the student loan debt. They're not going to do it.
Well, you hit it on the head, Kels, because between 95 and 2017, there was a proliferation. You guys remember all of these for-profit universities that took advantage of a lot of people. There's a lot of those folks that their debt was forgiven. This public service loan forgiveness program has been around since 2007. But here's the deal. Everybody thinks this is new. IBR, IDR, PAYE. Those aren't new. That's a part of that program, right? Yeah. If you work for a qualified entity, federal, state, or local, and fill out the paperwork every year for 10 years and make the payments based upon whatever payment plan. See, we're back to that payment thing. You got to pay. Right? You got to pay. So if you don't want to pay, don't borrow the money. We got another question. Comment. The ones with no degrees get the same jobs, watch this, and have the competency to do the job. It's your work ethic, interest, and willingness to learn that will get you to where you want to be, degree or not. Church.
You know, Ms. Reed, I'm glad you said that. When I was in college, this dude named Eric, what was Eric's last name? Oh man. His name was Eric. I forgot his last name. But he told me something. He had just graduated and I was coming in as a freshman. And I was like, man, you know, you're a freshman, you're looking up to the big people, older people. I was like, man, how does it feel to be graduated? He said, man, only thing a degree does now for you is it just shows that you're committed. It shows that you're committed because you can stick it out for 4 years and you're disciplined. It shows that you're committed and disciplined and that you just like to read books. He was just like making a joke. But he was like, only thing that the degree shows nowadays is that you're committed to discipline. That's the only thing it can show somebody. It doesn't hold no weight to it no more. He told me that literally leaving out of college. But when we had the conversation about it when I was a freshman, he was telling me that because he was saying majority of the people, like, because he was going to education, he was saying it works for education, but somebody can literally go out there and work a job for 10 years and get the same spot as you coming out of college, but it just shows that you just had the determination to stay through college. That's the only thing different.
It don't have the ability to learn. She hit it on the head, bro.
Yeah.
She hit it on the head. Excellent comment.
Go ahead, way to use commas and periods, Miss Reed. Let's go. Grammatically correct.
Oh, Miss Reed, you know, man. You know, I can't spell, but she can.
Miss Reed solid.
She knows the grammar and the whole nine. Watch this too, guys. As we recap, before we get ready to get out of here, and I started that, you know, I'm gonna leave that up while I say this. That's an excellent comment. I gave a solution, man. Let me run my solutions down. I want you guys to get some solutions, right? If they wipe away your debt, some Congress men and women want as much as $50,000, right? That's over $1 trillion over time, right? If they do, your kids coming behind you cannot borrow any money to go to school. Number two, the school system, right? Because I do believe that there's some culpability there. We should start in the 8th grade with teaching folks the responsibility of borrowing money and paying it back. Now, here's the deal. You cannot be a guidance counselor if you got student loan debt. If you in debt, all you going to show me how to do is get in debt. You ain't paid yours off, so you don't know nothing about no scholarships or nothing like that.
How many teachers you think in the school system have student loan debt?
Say again?
How many teachers in the school system do you think have student loan debt?
I got to answer a lot. I'm about to give a number. I see a lot of teachers.
75, 80% probably?
Higher. I'm going to just say higher.
Okay.
I'm going to say higher, right?
I know too. I'm telling you that because I know too. That's how I'm
Right,
asking.
right. Here's another thing too. If you, like in the financial service industry, right? If you have a bankruptcy or don't pay your bills, you can't do certain things, right? So you can't teach the shorties about money if you ain't paying your bills. That's a conflict of interest. You ain't never gonna see me on here talking about six-pack abs until I can see them. Not gonna do it, right? We talk about real estate, credit, and I can't talk about other things because I'm not licensed. But if you listen hard, I might know a little bit. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
might know one or two little
I
things.
might know one or two things. So those are my things to help, right? Again, if we wipe away your debt, and here's the reason for that, because it sounds mean, right? But it's not. My point is this: what you do affects somebody else. We got to understand that. Yeah, I put a post out on this. Everybody that I know that always wants something, they don't never give nobody nothing. What's up with that? You just to give me due. I need. I would, bro, but I ain't got it. You ain't never got
You ain't
it,
never gonna ain't
right?
never had it.
So we got to start. Okay, we set you free. Now you affected everybody behind you. So when they want to know why they can't borrow no money, because you got it and
I
you
like
didn't
it.
want to pay it back.
I like it.
You like that?
I like it. You
Give me
want my
some
theory?
solutions, bro. Give me some solutions.
I think you shouldn't get no taxes back if you everybody looking at for them taxes at the end of the year. I'm feeling like you shouldn't get no taxes back. That should go straight to your student loan. Because I'm gonna be honest, I've been seeing the posts all on the internet. Claim all your kids, you get 47,000 back, 32,000, 25,000. If you able to get that much money back and say that's my money, no, pay them student loans. You should not get your taxes back. And sometimes they do garnish them, but you should not get your taxes back if you own student loans. Straight up.
Mm,
I'm going harsh like that.
mm.
Like, because then it'll teach you to not wait all year for that money. That's number one. Number two, uh, I do like what you said about you're not allowed to teach and all that. That is good. But I think that um, we should offer some more type of repayment programs, meaning like teachers, for instance, they got the teacher repay back plan. You work 10 years in the service department, things like that. I think we got to expand it out to other careers, right? Um, I just think that's got to be one of the things. I think it shouldn't even be like, oh, if you. I know they're trying to get more police officers, get more teachers, and things like that, but um, that you can't just hold it to them. I think we got to expand it out to different careers. Uh, you know, especially like these lawyers and doctors. Make it more incentivized for the lawyers because they got to do a lot of schooling to be a lawyer, right? Uh, and they it's $200,000 to become a lawyer sometimes, whatever it is, right? I think that's what we got to expand it out to more of that. And then thirdly, um, I honestly think that uh, they should make it to where I hate to say this, but if you take out a certain amount, you got to start paying that back immediately. Stop the waiting till the end of school. Stop the waiting till you graduate, get 6 months. All that stuff got to stop. You got to pay it back immediately,
That's a
like
good one.
immediately.
That's a good
Um,
one.
you because right now we go get the car loan, we got to start making payback payments on it immediately. You get a house, you don't get 8 months, 6 months. They don't say until your door stops opening and closing properly, you got to pay back on your house.
That's a good one.
If the furnace stops, you don't pay back. You pay back immediately. Because that would teach you. We already program in the mind that like, oh, we don't have to pay it till later. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The mind's programming. Don't worry about it. Then you got 6 months. Some people go back to school just so they don't have to pay back the student loans. It's
I've
crazy.
seen it. I've
They
seen
go
it.
back to school so they don't have to pay back the student loans.
And borrow $100,000. It's crazy.
100,000 more. It's crazy. So you pay it back immediately, no matter what it is. I think that's the other one.
Yeah.
So yeah, mine is you shouldn't get your taxes, or you shouldn't even look at your taxes because think about it. Somebody that gets 8, 10,000, they don't get their taxes for 5 or 6 years. That student loan's probably paid back.
See, that way. See, and that's what I wanted to do, man. Before we get out of here tonight, I want to start the juices flowing, right? Think of some ways that, okay, if you are forgiving this money, because nothing's free. My product, you're taking everybody talks about energy and production, right? So you're gonna take all of my energy and hard work, and I'm just supposed to give it to you. The devil is a lie. You feel me? He's a lie,
A
right?
lie.
So you got to start thinking about ways. And then when you think of those ways, I think this is a jewel. If you have children, you never could start too early. Your word is your bond, right? When you say you're going to do something, you got to do that. And then if you don't, there's always consequences. Everybody just wants the head side of the coin, as my elder says. Nobody wants the tail side. That's the consequences.
Yep.
Okay. So as we start thinking about those things and passing stuff along, little by little, we start changing things. It's hard by the yard. That's what one of my coaches used to say, but it's a cinch by the inch, right? It's dollar cost averaging these things a little bit every day goes a long way, right? So, Kels, I got a commercial. Get your last thoughts together because it's going to be quick. And then I'm going to give you the last word and we're going to be up out. You feel?
Let's do it.
Why are they so happy, you might ask? Because they got their loan with Robert Lewis. Click the link in the description so you can smile too.
I'm a clown. Boy. I like that. I like that. They got their loan with Robert Lewis. So you can smile too. Y'all like that. Quit hate. Don't be a hater.
That must be Auntie's side of the family. That's not your side of the family.
Bruh, please.
Auntie and Constance.
We got good hair. We got good hair.
No, that's Auntie and Constance side of the family. That's not our side of the family.
Yeah, you know, we got some red bones over here. Yeah. Kels, you got the flow, man, so we can let them go.
Man, I'm glad everybody came out tonight. If y'all can do us a favor, make sure y'all like, comment, and share. Let people know every Thursday, 7 p.m., the home show. What I want you to know is me and Rob, we're family. When we debating, that's all love. We're not arguing. We want y'all to engage more. Come every Thursday. Also, don't be afraid to let us know topics that you want to talk about. If there's credit things you want to know, tell us. If there's home buying things you want to know, let us know. And if there's anything dealing with the insurance industry that you want to know, let us know so we can talk about it. But we love you guys and want to appreciate y'all coming out. The ones that engage with us today, we want to see you next week. And as always, we love you guys. And let's go get it. Peace.
Y'all be blessed.